Strong team, Brad, for round one of the NAB Challenge?
Oh, relatively strong. I mean, we've still got, hopefully it reflects our depth, Nick. I mean, we've got some pretty good players not playing. Senior guys who have played a lot of footy for us that will most likely play next week. But we really feel that we've been training for a long time during the pre-season, and we want to start to implement some of the things we've been working on straight away. And we'll filter those senior guys back in over the NAB 2, NAB 3 games.
Any parts of the ground you're particularly looking to settle in I suppose, ahead of round one?
I don't think we'll settle anywhere before round one. I think we'll flick a lot of players through different positions. We'll certainly toy with our defence a little bit. We'll structure up. We've got the flexibility to structure up our forward line a bit differently, so we'll have a look at all different aspects and probably play a few guys through the midfield that haven't spent much time in there before.
Port Lincoln, what are the travel arrangements there?
Oh, we're getting a charter flight straight in, so it's pretty easy. Yeah, the AFL have really looked after us there, and by all accounts, the ground's looking in terrific condition. And Lindsay Thomas has been giving me daily updates on what a great place Port Lincoln is. And you know, I hear just before walking out that the game's a sellout as well. So you know, that'll be a terrific atmosphere, and I think everyone who's a footy supporter is just wrapped at footy's back.
After months of sort of talking about expectations as well, it must be nice to just let your footy do the talking as well.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we've tried to keep a relatively low profile through the pre-season, and because we know that actions are what count, and we get an opportunity to get out and play. It's still a fair while before round one of the AFL season, so we're not suggesting that we're absolutely ready to go, but we're looking forward to taking the first step.
You talk about throwing a few players around. Who could we see in probably different positions than we're not used to?
Oh, we're really keen to play Robbie Tarrant back through the pre-season to give him an opportunity. He's had a good preparation after a really horrid run with injury and some really bad luck. So he'll play in a slightly different part of the ground. But we're looking forward to seeing Trent Dumont play. We really want to see Daniel Nielsen, our second round pick from the draft last year, play. So there are a lot of guys who will get a really good look at for the first time.
Where would he play Higgins? Where's he slotted to play?
Midfield, yeah. He'll play through the midfield. Yep.
Playing the Crows in round one, how much do you have to leave some in reserve? Or?
Oh, I don't think we'll flirt with our form too much. I mean, we trained all pre-season to practice some things. So I mean, we're not going to try and hide those away just because we play the Crows again in a month. I mean, we've got to focus a fair bit on our own game, and we can't be too cagey about that sort of stuff. So we'll be trying to implement what we've been practicing.
The list's starting to look a lot healthier, Brad. Is Lockie Hansen the main concern ahead of round one?
Well, in terms of guys who are likely to play round one, he is. I mean, obviously we won't have Grimer and Mullet available, but everyone else we think will be available, including Hansen. So he's feeling a lot better than the medical guys think he's going at the moment. I mean, he really feels like he could get into full training now. He's actually doing quite a bit of work. So I suspect once he comes back into full training, he'll come to hand pretty quickly and be available for selection pretty quickly. But other than that, we're getting there.
With Robbie Tarrant and I imagine Joel Tibbett down in the back line as well, are they sort of in a race to replace Nathan Grimer, or could you see them both playing on the back line together?
Oh, they're both terrific athletes. Robbie, in particular, has been noted through his career as being just a tremendous athlete at for anyone, but let alone someone his size. So we think if players are mobile enough and quick enough, then height's not really a factor for us. And while we might look tall, as long as we're athletic enough, that's okay. So, if they play well, they'll hold their spot.
Just in light of events on the Gold Coast, Brad, just interested in your thoughts on the three-strike policy with the AFL. Is there need for any change in terms of the way that recreational drugs are being policed?
Oh, look, I think that our code have people in place that are not only experts in this country, but world-leading experts to make those decisions. So far be it from me to voice my opinion, because the experts, it's their opinion that really counts. And I know the AFL have gone to great pains to explain to people that the AFL adhere to the WADA code, and then they put more stringent a more stringent code on top of that WADA code on AFL players. So there aren't any athletes in Olympic sports or any other sports around the world that are policed as closely as AFL players are.
How important is the NAB challenge to as you sort of nail down your best 22? Is it still an audition to speak, or do you have a pretty good idea of where that is?
I think look, we don't need to stress that there's healthy competition within our squad. Our guys all know that. So my attitude is to get a squad of players, at least of 35 that are capable of playing each week, and that'll help the team, get through a tough and arduous season. So it's healthy competition, but I don't need to stress that. Thanks, mate. Thanks a lot.